We're here in Monte Carlo for the Rendez-Vous de Septembre. For AM Best TV, I'm Richard Banks. And I'm joined now by Henning Ludolphs, Managing Director for Retrocession and Capital Markets at Hannover Re. Ludolphs, it's great to see you again. Thank you for joining us.
Pleasure being here.
So we're here in Monte Carlo, lots of discussions as to where we are in the reinsurance market cycle. You get a particular view of that. Tell us about what your observations are.
I think and we think that, in fact, after 2-3 good years, there will be some pressure on pricing, but broadly, we will see terms and conditions and retention levels more or less unchanged. At the end, it can be summarized in a phrase, we have some softening, but not a soft market, which is also very important. Yes, the last 2 years were good, but the 5-6 years before that were not good. And there will be coming years where we will have severe losses. And it is important also to make sure the industry, the reinsurers and the ILS investors have strong capital bases to manage the challenges of the future which will come. So we are very positive at Hannover Re. We also see business opportunities, profitable business opportunities, and go with a positive view into the next renewal season.
So you mentioned there investors both on the reinsurance side and on the ILS side. To what extent are their interests aligned now?
I think they're strongly aligned in a way that both have to make sure that their capital providers accept the results. So for the reinsurers, the capital providers are the shareholders. For the ILS investors are the capital providers behind the scenes. And of course, all want to see decent, reasonable results. So we are in one boat, so to speak. So we are fully aligned with that.
So you mentioned softening, but not a soft market. Now, hard markets inevitably are shorter than soft markets. What are the prospects for the reinsurance market generally, and ILS perhaps in particular, looking to the new year?
Interesting that you say that the soft markets are longer. I have never done the arithmetic myself, I have to say. But I'm not sure whether you can draw a conclusion from the past, because it can stop immediately. If one major loss in the world, we have immediately a different situation. Remember some of the rendezvous where during the rendezvous we had a major hurricane. Discussions changed on the minute almost. Of course, you can also have a change either if a lot of new capital comes in a short time frame, or if things go very well, no losses, but rating agencies and shareholders of reinsurers are starting to criticizing and putting pressure on. So there are various ways that a soft market can go quickly back to a hard market.
And in terms of the way that your customers are buying your products, whether it's reinsurance or whether it's ILS, have you seen changes as the market has developed and as the market is potentially developing further?
On the reinsurance side or more on the retro side? I think every company on the retro side, it would be myself and my teams. On the incoming side, our clients, of course, everybody tries, of course, to get a decent capacity at adequate price, still understanding that our counterparts need to have also a decent income. I think everybody may look at structure. So can we restructure a little bit to get our reinsurance or retrocession program going? And one point which is really important is are the long-term relationships. I think it helps a lot if you're a client for a long time, or if we are working with our retrocessionaires for a long time. This helps to get over more difficult periods of time.
It's really a really interesting point. How do you build a long-term relationship in reinsurance?
Trust over years. You can't go and tell somebody, oh, let's work together for the next 50 years. No, that's not going to work. You start, you work together, you help each other, you listen to each other, and then it's a matter of time. But we have many clients who work for many years together, also in more difficult years. And that helps. That builds trust. This helps, of course, for more difficult years, which may or probably will come at a certain stage.
So yours is a very data-intensive industry. And of course, when you're talking about data, inevitably the conversation turns to AI. To what opportunities or what threats do you think AI presents?
Of course, AI has become a topic, I think, with every company, more with respect to processes and managing data, less so yet in the business I am in, which is a ILS-related business, or buying the retrocessions, because it's very tailor-made business, very individual business. AI is a German word, künstliche Intelligenz. I think it's more for large data volume, stuff like that. On my side, AI is not yet part. I use it on a daily basis, so I ask and see whether I believe it or not, what I see, but it's not yet that much part of the business, of my business.
No, that's a really interesting answer. I appreciate that. One final question, Henning, if I may. What issues are being missed today that are going to be most important in the future?
Nothing comes to my mind immediately, I have to say. Maybe I just say that there's one thing very important. It was important, it is important, and it will be important. Long-term relationships. Listen to your partner, help each other, and arrange good business transactions.
Henning, it's a great pleasure to see you once again here in Monte Carlo. Always a highlight of the event for me. Thank you
Thank you very much.
For Invest TV, I'm Richard Banks.